Oh. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, minutes.
Rise for pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Moore? Aye. Mrs. Thompson? Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Bittner?
Here.
Mr. Shaboo?
Here.
Mr. Lunder?
Here.
Mr. Johnson?
Here. Approval of the minutes from the regular meeting of council, March 28, 2023. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
Motion for approval. I'll second.
Made by Mr. Morris, seconded by Mr. Shaboo. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Moore? Aye. Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Bittner?
Aye.
Mr. Shaboo?
Aye.
Mr. Lunder?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye. Correspondence. Clerk, is there any correspondence this evening?
Did you want me to read that letter on the garbage thing?
Oh, if you want, yes. Or I can read it.
I can.
Here, about that.
Council has received an email from Anita Beer dated April 6, 2023. Good afternoon, council members and Mike Fedor. My name is Anita Beer and I reside at 5725 Anna Court in Mentor-on-the-Lake. I am reaching out once again for help in resolving an issue with Republic Service waste collection in regard to the constant missed pickups. I deal with it. It's now going on a third year. I pay my bill on time every billing period. I place my waste containers at the end of my driveway like everyone is required to do so. For some crazy, strange reason, which I don't understand why, I don't receive the same service as other customers. I have also dealt with property damage that has not been properly addressed through their insurance company. Not to mention all the drama emails received from Mike Fedor just about every time I have to submit a missed pickup. I have them if you're interested in reading the conversations. This company has lost all my trust and respect. I have openly inquired on the Mentor-on-the-Lake Facebook page this week about the yard waste pickup. And yeah, people in the community have had their yard waste emptied. Mine, however, as of today, still sits at the end of my driveway waiting for service. Mentor-on-the-Lake is a small community. There is no excuse because someone could have stopped by to empty mine. I did submit the missed pickup on Monday evening. I chose now not to travel this journey alone any further. I need help and a resolution. I have a heart condition and a pacemaker. I need to concentrate on more pressing issues than having to deal with whether or not my garbage gets emptied, and all that follows is a missed pickup submission. I just cringe each week. I don't know what else to do. This needs to stop. From now on, every time I must submit a missed pickup to Republic, I will also send an email to the city council members. I need to openly bring the situation to the public. I can certainly understand an occasional missed pickup, but this has gotten out of control. The sheer volume of it is unbelievable. I hope by handling it this way, moving forward, their performance will improve and this issue will end. I am only interested in receiving the service I pay for like everyone else. If this constantly continues, I am prepared and will have no other choice but to seek legal advice on the issue. Thank you for your time and you all have a nice day. And there's a response from Mike Fedor in answer to Ms. Spear's email. Good afternoon all. Terry Ness and I spoke regarding this issue this afternoon and have come up with a solution. I apologize. I was unaware of any MPU called in, but we do have a driver dispatched to recover your yard waste based on your 11:20 a.m. missed pickup report from the MySource app. I have visited your home and given you a card directly to assist with any and all issues and would ask that you reach out directly the first time in order to give me the opportunity to get anything resolved. Also, as you have a fence and in the summer large plants blocking the driveway, would you please be able to place your can in a visible area, such as close to the address marker near your grass? This would eliminate our drivers unnecessarily backing all the way down the long dead-end street, as backing is a high-risk maneuver. Customer service is our number one goal, and we would like to be able to provide the best we can without interruption. So again, I apologize. A newer driver missed you on the first pickup of the year. As I have mentioned in the past, please reach out directly so we can assist you more timely in the future.
Hey. Any members of council have correspondence this evening? Hearing none, we'll move on to administrative and department head reports. Mayor and Safety Director, Mr. Eva, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Johnson, members of council, the public here this evening. We'll start off with some proclamations tonight. Mr. Coughlin and family, both of you, yes. This is the mayor, city of Mount Army Lake proclamation in recognition and appreciation to Daniel Coughlin. Whereas Daniel Coughlin has served Mount Army Lake as a member of the Mount Army Lake Fire Department since March of 1989. During his time with the Mount Army Lake Fire Department, Daniel Coughlin served as a part-time firefighter and was promoted to part-time lieutenant in March of 2014. He served with dedication, distinction, and outstanding leadership in the vital accomplishments of the fire department until he retired in March of 2021. And whereas the city of Mount Army Lake wishes to extend to Daniel Coughlin its deepest gratitude for a job well done and best wishes for many years of happiness in the future. Now therefore, I, David R. Eva, Mayor of the city of Mount Army Lake, and on behalf of City Council and all of our citizens, publicly goes on record as commending Daniel Coughlin for his distinguished service and outstanding efforts by expressing our appreciation for his leadership in all areas of community. Congratulations. This is the mayor, city of Mount Army Lake proclamation in recognition and appreciation to Anthony Conti. Anthony Conti has served Mount Army Lake as a member of the Mount Army Lake Fire Department since March of 1989. During his time with the Mount Army Lake Fire Department, Anthony Conti served as a part-time firefighter until February of 1999, when he was hired as a full-time firefighter paramedic. In September of 2018, he was promoted to full-time lieutenant. He served with dedication, distinction, and outstanding leadership in the vital accomplishments of the fire department until he retired in March of 2023. And whereas the city of Mount Army Lake wishes to extend to Anthony Conti its deepest gratitude for a job well done and best wishes for many years of happiness in the future. Now therefore, I, David R. Eva, Mayor of the city of Mount Army Lake, and on behalf of City Council and all of our citizens, publicly goes on record as commending Anthony Conti for his distinguished service and outstanding efforts by expressing our appreciation for his leadership in all areas of community improvement. Congratulations. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Daniel Clemens. I, Daniel Clemens. Solemnly swear. Solemnly swear. That I will support the Constitution. That I will support the Constitution. Of the United States. Of the United States. And of the state of Ohio. And of the state of Ohio. That I will in all respects. That I will in all respects. Observe the provisions. Observe the provisions. Of the charter. Of the charter. And ordinances. And ordinances. Of the city of Mount Army Lake. The city of Mount Army Lake. And will faithfully discharge my duties. And will faithfully discharge my duties. As a full-time firefighter paramedic. As a full-time firefighter paramedic. For the city of Mount Army Lake. For the city of Mount Army Lake. Congratulations. Josh and family. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Joshua Sunbaum. I, Joshua Sunbaum. Solemnly swear. Solemnly swear. That I will support the Constitution. That I will support the Constitution. Of the United States. Of the United States. And the state of Ohio. State of Ohio. That I will in all respects. That I will in all respects. Observe the provisions. Observe the provisions. Of the charter. Of the charter. And ordinances. And ordinances. Of the city of Monroe Lake. Of the city of Monroe Lake. And will faithfully discharge my duties. Faithfully discharge my duties. As a full-time firefighter paramedic. Full-time firefighter paramedic. For the city of Monroe Lake. For the city of Monroe Lake. Congratulations. Folks would like to leave at this time. Please do that. Thank you all. It's nice to tell us. Wow, the dead end.
Once again, great job clearing your room.
You're good at it.
I wanted to leave with them.
Want to really talk about NOPEC. We posted things, I think all the councils received literature, trying to get the word out that everybody in the city will get a notice. And I'll just briefly go through this. This is from NOPEC. Residents to receive NOPEC natural gas and electric enrollment letters. Eligible residents, which are our residents and small businesses in NOPEC member communities, will begin receiving enrollment letters from NOPEC's natural gas and electric aggregation program starting in early April. NOPEC is a governmental agency aggregation chosen by 240 Ohio communities, supply natural gas and or electricity to residents and small businesses in the community. To enroll in OPEC standard program price options for either gas or electric, customers do not need to take any action. They will automatically be enrolled beginning with June 2023 meter read date. This makes it easy and convenient to take advantage of being a member of your community's chosen aggregation program. NOPEC's program price is negotiated exclusively for NOPEC member communities to deliver consistent and competitive pricing. I'll skip the rest, but there are websites, there are customer service numbers. I think we all have a dedicated contact person that were in our packets to get a hold of, but just so I don't know how many calls we get here at City Hall, maybe some, maybe a lot, I don't know, but you know, we only know what they give us, and the residents, you know, need to do their homework on this. Now, Joyce, I'll give you a copy of this in 15 minutes. Fire Department monthly report for March. In March of 2023, there are 129 calls for service. The call breakdown was 22 fire service calls, 107 rescue EMS calls. Of those 107 calls, there were 22 calls for invalid assist. One call for an overdose requiring Narcan. Year to date, March 2023, there's 366 calls. 50 of those were fire service calls, 316 rescue EMS calls. Of the 316, 55 calls were invalid assist, and there were 3 calls over the quarter, which required Narcan. We did get an update. Mr. Lyons was good enough to send out a letter to our parking lot owners over at Marcos, and they responded. We gave them until March 31st to respond. They did respond prior to March 31st. And in the letter that Mr. Lyons sent out, we were giving them until May 31st to fix what's going on with that. Some may or may not know, asphalt, concrete plants just really started to open. The letter that we received back and it's from Guggenheim Real Estate Group. So for the parking lot over at Marcos, they will have the paving completed by May 31st. They are looking to potentially have it done sometime at the beginning of May, but we gave them until 31st to get that taken care of. That is my report.
Thank you. Administrative Director, Mr. Ness, good evening.
Good evening. I'm working on the audit still. Dare I say, I'm almost finished with the gap portion. So that. I spoke to Jim. He said that AJ Cement plans to start saw cutting and repairing for concrete between Goldenrod and Larksburg starting next week. And then doing the same for asphalt between Beach Drive and Slide Road. Beach Drive and Thunderbird and Fern Drive by the end of this month. Starting to get that. And I also spoke to him about the salts, Morton salts, trying to figure out what they're gonna do since everybody didn't use enough salt this year for their contract. So we still have 71 tons is our minimum threshold. If we got what we ordered, 135 tons would be what we actually need. So we'll still wait to see if they're going to let it slide or if we're going to have to store it or figure something else out. Working on that.
Good. Thank you. Law Director, Mr. Lyons, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. President. Don't have any report, but I was sitting here watching the firemen. I thought it was a very, very impressive group of people. Thought how lucky we've been to have them helping our community. I just wanted to say that. Hopefully Joyce can put me in the minutes. I just thought what great service those 2 lieutenants did in 1989, 2019, 2023. Just how lucky we were. So I just wanted to say it. Thanks.
Okay. Any questions for the administration? Hearing none. We move on to board committee commission reports, Parks and Recreation. She's not here. Planning and Zoning Commission.
Yes, planning and zoning met on April 3rd, 2023. In attendance was Mike Sweeney, Al Berkshire, Brent Moore, myself, Dave Eva, Jim Lunder, Rob Johnson, Michelle Moore, and some residents. There was 3 conditional use permits that we had before us. The conditional use permit for Menor Yacht Club was approved after a lengthy discussion. The conditional use permits for both Pelican Snowballs and Wingstop were approved. And the ordinance of the R-type ordinance was tabled for the next meeting because the committee didn't receive the latest copy. So the next meeting is May 1st, 2023 at 6 p.m.
And as council representative, are you going to ensure that they have the correct copy for the next meeting?
Oh, yeah, I gave it to them.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Ordinance Committee.
Ordinance committee met Monday, April 3rd, myself. And Mr. Shabu. Mr. I'm sorry, Ms. Moore and Mr. Johnson were also a couple members of the public. We went over to review the right of way again. We did have some corrections on that. We sent those to Mr. Lyons and picked them up and has gotten them back to me. I'm going to go ahead and give that to our third member of the committee. I'd like him to look it over before we bring it back to council. Also, the inspection, we went over that, corrected everything we felt necessary, and also again, typed up, we can send it to him before we send it back to council as a whole. Called to order at 7, was completed by 7:57.
Did any other boards or commissions or committees meet? Hearing none. We'll move on to open to the public to speak. Hearing none, we'll move on to legislation before council. Resolution number 2023-R-10, if you please read it by its title.
Resolution number 2023-R-10. A resolution authorizing the administrative director to participate in an agreement with the Ohio Department of Transportation for the purchase of sodium chloride, rock salt, for the 2023-2024 winter season and declaring an emergency.
Any questions on this legislation? Any discussion on this legislation?
Motion to suspend.
Motion to suspend by Mr. Bittner, seconded by Mr. Lunder. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Moore? Aye. Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Bittner?
Aye.
Mr. Shaboo?
Aye.
Mr. Lunder?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye. Motion approved by Mr. Bittner, seconded by Mr. Lunder. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Moore? Aye. Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Bittner? Mr. Shaboo?
Aye.
Mr. Lunder?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye. Resolution number 2023-R-11, if you please read it by its title.
Resolution number 2023-R-11. A resolution authorizing the administrative director to sell surplus city property by way of internet auction and declaring an emergency.
Any questions on this legislation? Yes, Mr. Bittner.
So this is internet. Does he have a plan on when he wanted to have this? On the,
This is something that we just renew every year.
we do.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it could be a vehicle, it could
It's
be.
kind of them at any point in time.
Right, yes.
Is there any other questions on this legislation? Is there any discussion on the legislation? Is there any motion? Motion to suspend by Mr. Bittner, seconded by Mr. Lunder. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Moore? Aye. Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Bittner?
Aye.
Mr. Shaboo?
Aye.
Mr. Lunder?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Motion for passage.
Motion made by Mr. Moore,
Seconded.
seconded by Mr. Shaboo for passage. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Moore? Aye. Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Bittner?
Aye.
Mr. Shaboo?
Aye.
Mr. Lunder?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye. Ordinance number 2022-0-25, it's still assigned to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
I have a question.
Yes.
It looks to be, we don't have anything for the next planning and so meeting, which would be May. Would it be okay to wait on this step? Or,
It's been waiting this long.
okay, because I can't see, or unless council is in a rush, that we just get them together for, to go over this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ordinance number 2023-0-06. It's also assigned to the ordinance committee and it's still there. Ordinance number 2023-0-07, also assigned to the ordinance committee and it's still there.
I'll say that. I accept it. Yeah, I think we're.
Old business. Is there any old business tonight? Hearing none, is there any new business?
I do have, what came up at the last planning and zoning commission, there was a topic that really was not tied to the, conditional use permits, I'll put it that way. But if the ordinance committee or another committee, could look at, chapter 1264, which is the yacht club district, just to review that. There were some questions, about that came up today.
I will, yes.
Mayor, could you be a little more specific? What kind of questions they had concerning that?
I would say, the difference between a yacht club, what came up was the nuisance of certain boats at the yacht club. And some of the specific, cross references in here, such as watercraft. What is the responsibility of the yacht club? Structures that are at the yacht club, things like that.
I will assign this to the zoning committee. Because that is a zone, so. Congratulations. You do the short stick.
We will actually look into this. Okay, to see, because they're gonna protect us. You want to start doing that? I will.
Okay. Any other new business? Hearing none. We're now back to open to the public to speak. Speak, of the lectern, and state your name and address for the record. Hearing none, we'll move on to announcements and settings and meetings. Currently, we have the Community Development Committee meeting Thursday, April 13th, 2023, and that's at 7 p.m.
And I did email everybody an agenda, proposed agenda for the meeting.
Okay, other meetings.
Well, apparently the zoning committee has got something to look at. Today is 11. I'm retired. You and I and Desiree, how about Monday the 17th? Is that good? Okay. Should we give it 7 o'clock for her? Yeah. If she can make it. Yeah.
Monday the 17th.
7 p.m.
Check the room right now, make sure it's open.
Oh, thank you.
Soon as it opens up.
Any other meetings?
It is open.
One second, just got there. Oh, yeah, it says the ordinance committee is meeting that day. So that's from back in the day when we had the third Monday of every month. So yes, it is open.
But we can do the zoning.
Yes.
Okay,
Well, seriously.
so that was no other meetings. Nobody else has a meeting scheduled?
Can I, get a copy of the community development committee agenda?
I sent it to you
When was that?
this evening.
At 6:24.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
I got it.
Oh,
That's who did he. Everybody should have. Yeah.
anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
So be it.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Morris, second by Mr. Chapu, roll call, please.
Mrs. Moore, aye. Mr. Morris,
Aye.
Mr. Bittner,
Aye.
Mr. Shaboo,
Aye.
Mr. Lunder,
Aye.
Mr. Johnson.
Aye. This meeting is adjourned.
You're right, it is a zoning. You're right.
It says it's